To all of you, assalamu alaikum. We thank Allah for our presence here and for this convention. We thank Allah for this good weather that we are having. We thank Allah not only for ourselves, but we thank Allah for all the people of Chicago and the surrounding areas, and wherever they're having good weather on this weekend, Labor Day weekend, we thank Allah for this good weather. Let me say to you first, the youth is our future. And this is not our saying, this is the saying of all intelligent people, all intelligent nations, all intelligent institutions, organizations, all intelligent people know that the youth is the future. And also, we have to understand that our enemies know also that the youth is the future. So our enemies will be trying to deprive us of our youth, so we won't have any future. Let me tell you something. We need all of you all, but we can exist with only one of you. The Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Mohammed was doing pretty well, but when Malcolm came out of prison, converted while he was in prison, and joined the Honorable Elijah Mohammed, the Nation of Islam did wonders. The Nation of Islam made much more progress than it had made before with only one young man. That was young Malcolm at that time. So we don't have to have all of you. We can only have one, just one. And we can have a great success for ourselves in the future. But our enemies think that taking you away from us will deny us the future. God is protecting you, and God is protecting me, and God is protecting all sincere people, young and old. And God will really give us the future. We're not worried about that. But it is our duty to do our part. We have to make you aware of the things that you should be aware of so that you will be better prepared to hang around, to stay around, and to establish yourself now for the future that's coming. The convention, you know, I'm sure, is going well. There is more hope and more enthusiasm in the spirit of this convention than there has been in any other before it. Each year, it has gotten better and better. So we expect that the youth will come away from this convention after Sunday, after tomorrow, with a better spirit and a better feeling that the convention has a place for you and that it's worth your time that you spend to come here and to be with this convention, and you will be coming back or wanting to come back next year. I'm hearing of success and progress everywhere, for all of our efforts. We want every convention to accommodate all of our important interests. Our interests, you know, is first the religion, its message, or we call dawah, presenting the religion in the right way. We think of presenting it to non-Muslims, but we have to understand that most Muslims do not know the truth about Islam. Most Muslims don't know the truth about Islam. Muslims are sometimes more ignorant of their own religion than many Christians are. Because there are many Christians, especially during recent times, since 9/11, but also since the Gulf War. Many Christians have started to have curiosity and want to know about Islam, about Muslims and Islam. So I'm meeting with a lot of organizations, or I'm part really of several organizations that are Christian, mostly Christian, and therefore the good future of mankind. They are for peace. They are for religious tolerance. They are for resolving conflict so there'll be less violence in the world, etc. I'm meeting with them. I'm a part of that. And I'm hearing from them information on Muslims and Islam that tells me a lot of them are more educated in our religion than a lot of our imams and religious leaders. They're more educated, and it's because I think they realize that it's serious. It's serious. I believe I'm more educated in Christianity than most preachers. I really do. I feel convinced that I'm more educated in Christianity than most Christian preachers, ministers. And that's because I made it my business to study their religion, to study the Bible and to study their religion. You youngsters, you are our future, I repeat that. If that registers on your heart, we don't have to worry about you. You may not be the front runner, but we know we won't have to worry about you because wherever you are, you may not even have a role in the community. Your career may be outside. But wherever you are, we know you will be having Islam in your heart, you'll be having your community in your heart, and you'll be living a life that we'd be proud of if we saw it. You'll be representing the best as a Muslim. And that is contribution to your Muslim American society. That is great contribution to your Muslim American society. I thank Allah we haven't lost any of our children to the world. All of them identify with Islam. All of them identify with what we are all about. That's from the first, Layla, our oldest child, to the last, Mohammed Shakir, who is somewhere here right now. I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere here. He slept here last night. I didn't, but he did. Yes, and I thank God for that. How have that happened? Because I and the mother, we don't try to dominate our children. We don't try to force our opinions on our children. We don't try to force our dream, our hope for our children on them. We just ask for them at least be decent, be a good person, and be happy to be a Muslim. That's all we want from them. We like to have them go the road that we would like to see them go and be the person in the future we would like to see them be, but we are willing to give that up if they don't want that. They want something else. As long as they want to be a decent citizen in America and a decent citizen in Islam, we are happy. And for that reason, we still have them, and we have most of them working for this community. Most of them are working for this community, in this community. Our loyalty is not to any person before it is to God. Our loyalty is to God. Believers worship God, not individuals. Real believers worship God, not individuals. A lot of people by habit, they worship individuals. They worship the more popular person in the leadership. If that's me, they worship me. If that's somebody else, some other leader among us, they worship him. Or her, because we have leaders, females and males. This is not for a believer. A believer is never to worship a person. A believer is always to worship only God. We are only God's worshipers. And worshiper is abd. Literally, the word meant a slave in the time before Muhammad the prophet. when he was given revelation from God, the word slave came in Revelation, and it gave a new meaning to slave. It means worshiper. It means servant of God. It means worshiper, ab. The plural of ab, and I'm sure most of you all know what plural and singular is in grammar. The plural of abd is ibad. And Allah says, Ya ibadi. God says to us in Quran, Ya ibadi. Speaking to all human beings. He says, oh my worshipers. Again, before the revelation of Quran, that expression would have meant in the ears of the public, oh my slaves. Islam gave a new meaning to the word slave. And it said no one is deserving of a slave. All slaves belong to God as his worshipers, as his servants, not slaves. God, the typical meaning of slave, God would never have a slave. The typical meaning of slave means that I expect you to do what I say, whether you like it or not, whether it's good for you or not, whether it breaks up your family, no matter what it does. You my property, so you do what I say. That's the meaning of a slave. You are answerable to your master, whether it's good for you or not, whether it breaks up your family or not, etc. Whether it takes you from your friend or your interest, etc. That's the meaning of slave. God gave us free will. God gave us our own mind to think for ourselves and make free choices, to make our own choices. God does not impose himself upon us, and God does not dominate us. God is not one that dominates. And he can do it. He has power over all things. He could have done that. He could have made us like trees, do nothing but grow in one place and stay there. But he made us human beings with free minds and free spirit and a brain to think for ourselves and make decisions on our own. He made us even to question him if we want and to reject him if we want. And he says in our holy book, this religion is for you. Let him who wants it take it. Let him who does not want it reject it. So the religion is not to be forced on anybody. Dawah, or preaching in Islam, to introduce Islam to others, is invitation. Invitation. It is not forcing the religion on somebody or ordering them to be Muslim or threatening them, say, if you don't believe in this, you're going to hell. This is not Islam. This is not the way of Islam. Islam is invitation. And God says, Jadilhum billati hiya ahsan. And discuss with them or debate with them in a way that is beautiful and intelligent. The first point here is that our loyalty is to God. And we are only servants or worshipers of God. We know we serve society. We serve our mamas and daddies. And we serve our family, we serve society. But when it comes to who has authority over our service, it is not mama, it's not daddy, it's not the President of the United States, it's God Almighty if we really understand our religion. If we really understand our religion, the one who has authority in your life and the one who demands your service, who has the right to demand your service over all others, take it from mama, take it from daddy, take it from family, take it from nation, take it from your group, your political group, whatever. The one that has that right is only God, only God. Then our allegiance is firstly to God. Our allegiance is firstly to God, not to the United States of America. Our allegiance is firstly to God. But thank God, America was founded by thinkers, political thinkers, that wanted the nation to itself to be under God. And that's being questioned, that's being challenged now. There are groups in America challenging that. They're saying that this is a violation of church and state. This is a contradiction. So they're challenging it now. But I don't think they're going to succeed. I think they're going to be defeated. And we don't have to defeat them. Others will defeat them. Christians will defeat them. But we will do our part too. We'll be watching it too, and we'll be doing our part too. One nation under God. That's the expression. One nation under God. So thank God that we are in a country that recognizes God as the authority over it. So we can feel comfortable saying that our allegiance is first to God. The authority, divine authority, or the authority of the creator of all of us, the creator of heavens and earth. Allegiance is to God. Our loyalty is to God. Let's be aware of citizens' ignorance. Community. Citizens in community. Ignorance, which ignores thieves. They're just thieving and stealing all the time. And we are in the spirit to just see it and overlook it as though it's something natural. What kind of thieves? Thieves stealing money, dollars, bread? No. Thieves who steal attention, to have attention on them, that they don't get unless they steal it. Be aware of those who are giving, as Quran says, quote, word, flowery speeches. Flowery speeches. Be aware of those who are known for speeches with Scud missiles. I'm sure most of you know what Scud missiles are now. With Scud missiles, targeting trusted leadership. They don't want you to trust the good leadership. So they target good leadership. Be aware of those who give talks characterized by humor. They're laughing too much while they're talking. They're giggling too much while they're talking. And usually that's a dangerous person behind all that laughing and giggling. They use humor as warfare. Be aware of those whose speech is characterized by sweet, bittersweet innuendos, sneaky insinuations directed at a good person that they want to undermine so they can get the attention that you are giving that good person. Vain, cheap, weak, popularity thieves. Popularity thieves. They can't get it honestly. They can't become popular honestly. So they do it by being very sneaky and saying things to make you doubt the qualification of a good person that you're trusting, or the sincerity of a good person that you're trusting. We don't want to waste too much time on them. They don't deserve it. We should realize you as youth. Remember, I used to be a youth. All of us used to be young. Remember, I used to be younger than you, sitting and listening to the leaders of the Nation of Islam. And I had my thoughts, I had my feelings, but I had no ambition to be leader. I had no desire to be anybody's boss. I had no desire to influence anybody's life to make it like I want it. No. I didn't have it then, and I don't have it now. Thank God. I thank God. Now I know as a spiritual man, as a man who's deeply spiritual, now I know the value of being such a person. So I thank God that I was such a child, and I thank God that I'm still such a person. But let us not underestimate the seriousness of our life as Muslims and our unity that we are working for as Muslim American society members. Let us not underestimate the seriousness of that. We come from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's group that he pulled together. He pulled those people together. But I was his son in the family. Naturally, I was there. I was one of them that he brought to be united with Muslims under the name, the Lost Foundation of Islam, or the Holy Temples of Islam. Long ago, it seems to me now, but it wasn't so long ago. Let's be aware of the importance of our connection with that. It was something that got to be very popular. We know the problems it had with this society, with Christians, with white folks, etc. But even white folks recognized a lot of good that was in it. And white folks recognized a justification for it taking that position against whites at a time when whites were not respecting and recognizing us as full humans and full citizens of the United States of America. That time is not so long behind us. I'm going to give you a quote. Quote, "The most significant black man in America, Elijah Mohammed, Reader's Digest, said that." This was around 1965, I believe, or so. I didn't look it up to give you all the information on it. I just wanted to remember the words and share these words with you. Reader's Digest, one of the most credible magazines in the United States, are published by Americans, highly respected magazine, a magazine that keeps current. It addresses most of the important concerns and issues of the time and recognizes what is big news in America. Reader's Digest, humane publication, highly cultured publication, said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most significant black man in America. What significant mean? Most important, but in a real positive sense, not in a negative sense. Significant is in a serious sense, by me. That's what I want to say. Important in a serious sense. Because something can be important and it's foolish, but it's important. This is real seriousness given to the leadership of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam that he was responsible for guiding. That their leader is the most significant black man in America. By them saying that, when it reached the members of the Nation of Islam, you'll be surprised to know how much it lifted the morale and the spirit and gave energy to the bloodstream of the members of the Nation of Islam to work even harder for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and work even harder for the objectives, for the aims of the Nation of Islam. They knew it. You think they're stupid? They knew when they put that in that magazine that it would have this kind of effect on the following of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but they felt as editors, as publishers, they felt an obligation to recognize the truth. To recognize the truth that readers, their readers, had a right to have. And they did the right thing. We're hearing now Islam is the fastest growing religion. That's what we're hearing. That makes Islam very important. Very important. I'm not important. I'm not big. I'm a little guy. I insist. I'm a little guy. Okay? I don't even have a PhD degree. I don't have a master's degree. I don't even have a bachelor's degree. But I'm connected to a big thing. I'm connected to something that's so big, it makes me honorable. It makes me respectable in the company of kings, queens, presidents, That's Islam. That's Islam. The universal religion, Islam, that has nations, not just people following it, has nations under the name Islam. Presidents, generals of the war, generals in the military under Islam. Same for Christianity. Same for these other great religions. So you're connected to something mighty big. You're connected to something mighty great. All right? I guarantee you if we were in here dancing, the lights would not have been dimmed. But dimming the lights didn't hurt us. It only makes us think more seriously. It only gets our attention more when they dim the lights. If they turn the lights out completely, we'll even be more attentive than we are now. Because something is saying, something is in the way. So when something is in the way of your muscle, you're trying to push something, your muscle gets stronger. Something in the way of your attention gets stronger. See, they don't know the psychology like I do. Opposition works well for us. We invite it. All right. Now, knowing this seriousness and knowing how important little people like us are now made because we are connected up with Islam, I continue. All at our gatherings are not innocent. All at the gatherings with Mohammed the Prophet, prayers and peace be upon him, were not innocent. They were not there for good. Wherever believers meet, imposters are there. What is an imposter? Be like I was. I come from a home environment of uneducated parents, but sincere, intelligent parents, decent, and parents of great character. And they made me want to speak English correctly. If I use a word that you don't know, you shouldn't just hear it. And not only me, when you hear a word in your environment that you don't know, make note of it and look it up so your vocabulary, your command of the language and words grows. If you don't know what imposter means, don't sit there and not note it down. Write imposter, the best way you could spell it, and go to the dictionary when you go back home or when you can. Look the word up so you will know it. Imposter means a fake. A person that's among you but not true to the picture of himself or herself that she or he is presenting. They present themselves as one of you, but they are not one of you. They are lying with the way they're presenting themselves. They're lying with their speech. They're lying with their smiles. They're lying with their actions. They're lying with all of their expressions. They are deceivers. They are your enemies among you. So if the prophet had these people, don't you know we got them? Not only Elijah Muhammad had them, don't you know we got them? Mr. Farad, his teacher, that they called God, we called God. I call God, they called God in the person, in the flesh. He had them. My father told me once, he said, it was not only me, I just happened to be there in the house. There were others there, other members of the family, maybe even non-members, I can't recall right now. Anyway, he said, yes, now I recall there were non-members too of the family there. It was on a Sunday. And he said at the dining table, he said, there was once a man who interrupted Mr. Farad, the savior of the Nation of Islam, interrupted him while he was speaking. See, he was a big, tall, heavy black man. See, he was very black-skinned and had big, I'm just giving you the words of the description. I didn't make this description. Had big black lips, purple black lips, with bright red in the middle, in the center of his lips. And he stood up and red eyes. I got to give you the description that they gave me. And red eyes. And he stood up and he said, you say that God is a black man. But you're not black, I'm black. How come you don't let a black man be the leader? And my father said, Mr. Farad, the FOI was there. They started out with the FOI. The FOI started when the movement started. FOI, everything started together. They started, the first day they started preaching, they had FOI, MDT, they had all that, guards and everything. My father said, Mr. Farad did not even respond to him. I'm saying Mr. Farad. My father didn't say Mr. Farad. He said, our Savior. Mr. Farad did not respond to this big black man. And he refused to let the guards throw him out. I, as a young man, young minister, I was sitting at the table once with my father. And one of his so-called representatives, well, he did preach for Elijah Muhammad. He challenged the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, you got yours, when are we going to get ours? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not respond to him. I was in the basement of our house. My father had just bought a new house. We were living in a cheap frame house, wood frame house, on 6116 Michigan, south side of Chicago. We moved into the more affluent neighborhood, 4847 Woodlawn, in the area of University of Chicago. Nice big house they call mansion, and it was a mansion. It was a mansion, and a minister from the Nation of Islam asked to see it. He lived on the East Coast. My father welcomed him to come see his house. We really had not got completely settled there. So it was a habit of the boys, if there was the oldest boy present at the house would stay with my father if there was someone not of the family with him. And that was expected of us. My father and mother trained us like that. So I'm a little boy, I couldn't do anything. I don't think I was more than maybe about 13 years old. And I'm walking around with my father, walking around with him, and he said to my father, this is real nice, dear Holy Apostle. When are we going to get ours? And my father did not respond to him. I said several times, speaking, that I got people I know that are working to undermine me. They're right around me. They're working to discredit me. They're not working to destroy me because they know my staying around is their existence right now. Without me, they wouldn't be around either. But they're hoping when I die, they can become the leader, so they don't want you to like me too much because they're going to knock me down. They're going to be ready to knock me down and put themselves up higher after I'm dead. That's what they think. That's what they plan. So I said, I know I got people all around me that's not with me, but I keep them around me. I keep them around me. Why? Because they can make a contribution. If they're making a contribution, they're helping what we're doing, they're contributing to this work. I don't care what they care about me personally. They don't have to like me. Do you have to be in love with the hammer that drives the nails? You want to put something together? Oh, you have to be in love with the hammer. The hammer does the job. And as long as you don't fear the hammer is going to be animated and hit you over the head, you'll use it and put it up and take it out and use it again when you need it. Well, that's the way I do these people. And I thank Allah for their contributions. But I know their intent. They are not honest. They are not truthful. They are envious. They are people who want to take attention, steal attention from others so they can have more attention to themselves. So I wanted you to be aware of these things. I know many of you are, but I wanted you to be aware of those things. And now I want to conclude this and say to you that I am happy. I'm very happy. They don't make me sad. I have much more to be happy about than I have to be sad about. I am happy. And this community is growing more beautiful and more beautiful all the time. And we are getting better and better people of character and intelligence all the time. Our professional numbers, the numbers of professionals among us is just growing, growing, and growing all of the time. So I feel very good, and you go back and respect your leaders, even those thieves that I mentioned. Respect them and pick them up when you need them to hammer a nail or cut a piece of wood or whatever. Thank you. And I'm open for questions or comments. Yes, I wish you'd come here to make your question, to give your question or make your comment. Come up here so we all will hear you. Come up here. Wa alaikum assalam. Which mic is the one that carries the voice? Here, come here. Wa alaikum assalam.
If you don't mind, can you explain a little bit more about the flowery speeches?
About
the flowery speeches?
Flowery speakers?
Yes.
Yes, in the Quran, God says there are those who make flowery speeches, but they have corruption in them. They are not people that mean well. They have bad intentions. They have corruption in them. And we know that. What's called demagogue in the political world. A demagogue is one that says what he or she thinks you will like, just to get you to give him or her your ears and listen and won't be suspicious of them. So to keep you from being suspicious of them, they say whatever you like, whatever they think the audience like, that's what they say. That's a demagogue. And that's when they are using charming language and flattering language and etc. They're making flowery speeches.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir. Wa alaikum assalam.
When you say humor speeches, it's not good. Sometimes doesn't humor draw the audience?
Yes. Next time you listen to me with your right ear also. You listen only with the left ear this time. You should have been listening with that ear too. I did not say that. I did not say that humor is bad.
Okay.
Thank you. You know, I was in Detroit as a guest of one of the masjids in Detroit. And the imam said, "Brother Imam, we always have your time and your attention. We have organized the children. Most of them are students of our school, and they're here to really hear you. So we want you to speak to our children. And would you have some time to get some questions or have some questions for them?" I said, "Sure, I will. Sure." That time I spent with those students and their friends in Detroit, in my opinion, was more productive than any meeting I ever had there with adults or anybody else. And it was because they were given time to ask questions and make comments. So things came out that I could respond to that helped them but also helped us. I mean, helped the adults as well as the youth. Yes. Wa alaikum assalam. You're cool, man. You're really cool. You can't live without that cap. Well, you need more help from Imam W. Mohammed. Because I see nothing but a handsome, beautiful guy here. Okay? You don't need the cap to make you look good.
What is the
Look at me.
Oh, my
you
question
think don't you know I look better if I had on a cap? I got a bald head, gray. If I cover this stuff up, I'll look better. But I think I look pretty good without the cap. I look good without the cap, too. You do, too.
What is the economic impact of CPC outside of the state of Illinois?
What is the economic impact of CPC outside of the city of Illinois? Well, you live outside. You're going to have to tell me that, buddy. You have to tell me that. Where you live?
New Jersey.
New Jersey? What state in New Jersey? What city in New Jersey?
East Orange. East Orange.
You live in East Orange, New Jersey. I've been there several times as a guest of our community in that area. You'll have to ask them what is the impact. You should be asking them. Ask the leaders there, not me. I'm here in this area. The impact here is great.
All right.
Walaikum assalam. My man. Walaikum assalam.
When you said that God gave us the choice, not forcing us to be a Muslim, can you explain more to that, what you said?
They are not hearing you good enough, so repeat it.
You said that God gives us a choice, not forcing us to be a Muslim. Would you explain more of that to me?
God gives us the choice. God gives us our own mind. God made us to think on our own. And we can think any way we want. Okay? Right now, if the police was here, and the police said, you have to agree with everything Imam David Muhammad says, young man. And maybe you're afraid of police, okay? But the police don't know what you're thinking, does it? You could be saying, I don't believe not a word that stupid, bald-headed Imam. Right? You could be saying that in your mind, right? God made you free like that. So you can have your own free choices. God wants us to earn the good life by the use of our own intelligence and good nature. He's not going to make us do it. He's not going to force us to do it. And that includes Islam too. Thank you. Allah be with you.
Anyone else have a question?
There's no more. So I'm going to go have breakfast. I didn't have breakfast yet.
Okay.
Welcome. Come right up front here and take the mic. Walaikum assalam.
I wanted to ask you, why is it so important to study Christianity?
It's not important to study Christianity if you're not going to be a leader for Islam, for Muslims. But if you're going to be a leader for Muslims in a Christian society and in a world that has been really kind of shaped by Christians more than by Muslims or any other religion, it's very important for us as leaders representing Islam to know much about Christianity. So we'll respect it more, so we'll know how to deal with the people. If I don't know your thinking, if I don't know what's influencing you to be the way you are, to even and respond to me the way you do, then I'm in the dark when I'm dealing with you. Especially if I want to get you to respect me. If I want to have you respect my religion and me, then I should also know your religion so I can respect your religion and you.
For reading the Bible, if you try to read it and you can't really get into it because you can't understand what they, like, the context of it. So how do you go about trying to understand it better? When you try to talk to people of different, or Christianity and things like that, and they explain it to you from a biased point of view.
Yeah. Well, what you have difficulty with, and you don't see yourself having success with it, put it down. Stay away from it. Let others do it, like Imam David Muhammad.
Okay.
Allah be with you.
You too, bro. I'm with you.
Walaikum assalam. Welcome. Just hold your places. Yes.
I got accepted into your youth ministry, the correspondence program.
Yes.
And I wanted to know if y'all have made any kind of progress with that and when we'll be hearing about it.
Yes. I'm sorry, Ndidi is not here. She's been working with me since we started, with us since we started. I wish she was here to respond to your question. We are getting close to having the study. In fact, we are transcribing, and we have some sessions, some study sessions or lessons already transcribed. We are making progress. We are making progress. But to tell you exactly when we will have the course printed and ready for distribution throughout the community in the United States and even in Bermuda and other places, I don't know. But I believe it will be before school starts again next year, before September next year.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And we hope to get it out much sooner.
Okay.
All right, you're welcome.
So,
Wa alaikum assalam.
I don't know if you said this or not, but do you like work at Masjid or are you like the top imam or something?
I didn't get it. Can you speak here too? Speak here. Speak into this.
Are you like an imam of the Masjid or are you like the top imam or something? Imam.
Am I an imam over a masjid?
Yeah.
No,
No.
no. I used to have a masjid, and I hope to get one again soon.
Alright.
But I'm not a resident imam. That means I don't have a place where I go every Jummah, Friday. No, I don't.
Okay.
You should ask the people what am I. Ask the people. Ask Muslims, your mother and all of them, your father, your sisters,
My
brothers,
dad's an imam.
your friends who are Muslims. Ask them, okay?
Alright.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And you said real believers worship God, not individuals.
Yes.
Can you explain more, like, what is a real believer?
What is a real believer? That expression is in the Quran too. Real believer. The expression is in the Quran. Mu'minuna haqqa. Real believers. Yes, it's in the Quran. What is a real believer, you ask me? A real believer is one that never doubts anything in the Quran and never doubts anything in Muhammad. Never doubts anything in the Quran, because God says, "Tu'minu billah wa rasulih." Believe in God and in His messenger. So a believer, a real believer, is one that never doubts anything in the Quran and never doubts anything in Muhammad.
Thank you.
Yeah. We might not understand it, but we don't doubt it. As the Christians just sing, we'll understand it better by and by. Wa alaikum assalam.
I have a question. A lot of us in here listen to hip-hop, rap, R&B, all that type of music. I was wondering, do you feel like music is like haram, or like, what is your view on it? Because I know, my parents don't really like me listen to it and stuff like that, but I like it. So I don't know if it's, is it haram or...
Yeah, there is haram in most of the cultural air of America, not just music and songs. In most of the cultural air of the West, and maybe a lot of other places, but I know the West, is haram. Most of it is haram. And most of the songs that come out, rap or otherwise, haram. But Rap music has more haram than any other. Now, wait a minute, don't leave. I'm not finished. You know, rap means more than one thing, doesn't it? Rap can mean hit knock on the door. Who's rapping on the door? Who's rapping at the door? It can mean knock. In the media world and in the theater, in Hollywood, when they have finished the tape or the recording, that's a rap. I mean, it's finished, right? So rap has many meanings. Rap has many meanings. When you go to jail, you're convicted. And you may think you're innocent, and your partnership been going along. Oh man, I took the rap. So rap has many meanings, you see. Now, if they can rap and vent their anger, vent their vulgarity, the anger first, I said, then vulgarity. The anger makes them want to cuss the world out, make them want to say nasty things. They get relief. That's therapy for them. Get up and use MF 50 times in 50 seconds. So that's therapy for them. That's relief. They're relieving themselves. So if they can do that in this free society, why can't we have a good rapper rapping to heal them and get respect? Wa alaikum assalam.
I would like to know if, in order for us to become effective leaders, what are some important steps that we need to take?
In order for us to become
Effective leaders in the future.
effective leaders in the future, are there important steps that we should take?
Yes, and what are they?
Yes, many. The first one is to thank God for everything that you enjoy, even if it's nothing but waking up and feeling good, not sick. First, thank God for everything that you enjoy. That's the first thing. Everything that you enjoy. You know, some people can't be thankful for all the things that they enjoy or they get benefit from. There are people who don't want to like America, and they'll be getting benefits from America. They'll be enjoying a lot of the life and opportunities of America, but they will not be thankful. God says the enemy of all mankind, he became that way because he was not thankful. That's Satan, the devil. He is the one that is not thankful. And because he was not thankful, he became a kafir, the first of the kafirs, the rejecter of God and truth for mankind. So the first thing and most important thing is to be thankful for all that we enjoy, all the good that we appreciate, all the benefits we get. Be thankful to God, be thankful to our parents. Sometimes your life with your parent can be so bad that you just want to see nothing but bad in them. But for God's sake, as a believer, look for good even in the worst parent and be thankful for something. First thing is to be thankful. Next thing is to be intelligent. Try to educate yourself so that you'll be better prepared for leadership. I can go on and on and on, but I think that's enough. Be thankful and then educate yourself so you will be better prepared.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Alaikum assalam. We are waiting
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
For a minute, trying to phrase the question properly.
Yeah, make sure you're speaking here so all of us hear you.
At the masjid, there may be young people that teach classes or are asked to teach certain information that the leadership may know that these young people are studying this information and they may be more versed in this information than older people. And these young people may teach these classes and the majority of the participants may be older. I would say the Nation of Islam generation, not that there's any generation gap, but of this generation. And in the classes there may be slight disrespect, and sometimes outward disrespect to the young presenters as if they don't know the information that they're presenting. What should young teachers do in a situation like this?
Islam, like Christianity and Judaism and other religions, I think, put very high importance on respect for the elders or for the aged, those old people like myself. So we don't treat them like we would a person of our age. We take a lot more off of them than we would off of a person of our age. We try to respond to their insults or their negativity with kindness, and usually that works. Those that doesn't work on, whisper to the security guard and tell them we got a problem. All right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, Mike Marcello.
Papa, what's the main purpose of the convention?
Yes, speak here.
What's the main purpose of the convention?
What's the purpose of the convention? Excellent question. Wow. Now that's an excellent question. What is the purpose of the convention? Well, I hope we hear it at these sessions, because there are a lot of workshops and sessions going on. I hope we're hearing just that answer. And please send the word around. We have to remember in all these workshops and all these sessions to give the purpose of this convention. That's a must. The purpose of this convention is the purpose of the one before it and the one before it, all the conventions. The purpose of the convention is to bring more people together in one place and situation so that we can have more people, the biggest number, the maximum number of people, looking at and hearing what is important for our life and our future in America. That's the purpose. Now, they may give it differently in the other place, but I'm sure that we're going to be in agreement. They may use different language, but we're going to be in agreement, I'm sure, with those who will be given the purpose of the convention. Some of them say the purpose of the convention, I believe I hear this, the purpose of the convention is to support Imam W.D. Mohammed. True and false. True is to support the leadership of Imam W.D. Mohammed. That's for the good of all the people belonging to this community. But to support me, to have me more popular, or to have people think, oh, he's tough, he's great, he's learned, he's wild. No, that's false.
Is it gonna be here next year?
Will I be here?
Is it gonna be here?
The convention? Oh,
No, please,
the convention is here at the Hilton right now. But Sunday, the activity will go to the University of Illinois on Circus campus.
I mean next year.
Hmm?
Next year.
I don't hear.
Next year.
Oh, next year. He's asking about next year. I don't want to give that. I'm not the one to give that. You'll get that announcement at the convention, not from me. Peace. This young man is something else. Let me tell you. He's an honor student. He has several honors. He's a football player, baseball player. That guy's tough.
Assalamu alaikum again.
That's my grandson. Yes.
Okay, I came home. I just wanted to ask you, I get in a lot of like debates with Muslim brothers upon that they believe that the worst Muslim is better than the best non-believer. I mean non-Muslim.
Yes, Muslim.
But the worst Muslim is better than the the best non-Muslim.
You tell them you heard this from me. That's bullshit. And tell them exactly what I said. Yes.
I want to know what exactly are the jinn?
What are?
The jinn.
Oh, yes. Yes. Her question is exactly what are the jinns? In the Quran, we have translation in English, the jinn race, R-A-C-E. So two groups are given in the Quran, one the human group or the human race, and the other the jinn group, or as it has been put in English by a translator, the jinn race. Now, how much do we know about jinn? Maybe not too much. But one thing we know is that jinn takes the form of human beings. And I never heard mention in the Quran, I read the Quran many times from beginning to end, and I've never read the jinn being seen or observed or known to be in any but a human body, a person's body. And according to my understanding of the teachings of Mohammed the Prophet, as reported in the Hadith, a collection of his teachings and works, I can't recall anything in Hadith that says jinn is anything other than a human being, or comes in any form other than human form. Jinn is not a human being, but comes in what appears to be a human form. Comes in these bodies we have, no other body. A jinn won't come in a cow. A jinn won't come in your dog. Your dog starts frowning at you, frowning and growling at you, got strange behavior. Call the police or a doctor, a dog doctor, animal doctor. Not an imam. Okay. And in the Quran, we read, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Seek Allah's protection from the sneaking whisperer who whispers into the hearts of people, And it goes on and on. I'm not giving all the translation. Where is he? He's from among jinn, and he's from among people. From among jinn and people. So here are the two groups mentioned that we should seek protection from this deceiving one that takes the form who is seen as people, but who's also seen as jinn. Now, people, who do we think of as people? The word nas in the Quran, and nas, it means sociable, civilized people, society. It means them. You will never see the word nas used negatively or find it used negatively in the Quran. It always may be speaking, addressing the shortcomings of people, but never will it put people down in that form or in that name. So, and nas is civilized society. That's what nas means. And jinn can sneak in, can come in the form of one belonging to civilized society. But jinns are usually found among savages and people that don't like orderly society. Jinns will have the bodies, the human bodies, of those that like violence, destruction, disorder, like to tear down government, tear down order. So the jinn will usually be found among the destructive, rebellious ones who rebel against the order of society. But they can also get into people who are among the good ones, the social ones, the good ones. The jinn can even be in the company of the followers of the Prophet. Solomon in the Quran, Suleiman in Arabic, Quranic Arabic, Suleiman. Solomon, it is said that he had in his army, not in his army only, but he had among his chiefs of the army, like Colin Powell, chief of staff he was, you know. He had among his chiefs of the military jinns. Said, and one of the jinns volunteered to, Solomon wanted to get Sheba's throne, Queen Sheba's throne. And one of the jinns volunteered to tell him how he could get it right away. And Solomon didn't accept his advice because it was unethical. It was not becoming of a man of high and noble character like Solomon. So he refused to accept this jinn's advice. He didn't say the jinn was wrong. The jinn said, I can have her throne here for you within the time it takes you to bat your eye. But Solomon didn't accept it because it was not by honest and decent means. So here was a jinn. Now that jinn was in his staff. He must have been appearing as a staff member in human body, right? He was one in the, Allah says in the Quran, revealed that he was one in the staff of King Solomon. So if he was there, he must have been in human form, appearing to be human like everybody else. So you want to understand exactly what a jinn is. A jinn is one that believes he should do what he wants. He should be the judge of what he does. And nobody should take that authority from him. There are a lot of jinns.
I was going to ask another question.
Yes.
I just wanted to know what, like, the
Okay.
hereafter is.
Well,
like, what?
But
Will just Muslims be in hereafter, or?
Muslim what?
Will just the Muslims be in the hereafter, or?
Oh, she asked about the hereafter, the promised future when all this creation is done. Will Muslims be the only ones in the hereafter? Will the Muslims be the only ones in heaven? Muhammad the prophet said he saw God blessed him to see heaven. He wasn't the first prophet that was blessed to see heaven either, peace be upon them. But he was blessed to see heaven. God showed heaven and hell to more than one prophet. And he showed it to Muhammad too, peace be upon them. And Muhammad said that he saw the followers of Moses and the followers of Jesus Christ in heaven with Muslims. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Huh. You?
I would like to,
So far, you all made this real easy for me. I've had it much more difficult.
I would like to ask a question. I was reading the Quran.
I better correct the thinking here, maybe. I don't mean more intelligent questions. I don't mean harder questions for me to answer with my intelligence. I mean, I have had more disturbing comments come from youngsters and more disturbing questions addressed to me than I've gotten today. Thank you for being a little bit more civilized. Well, you're much more civilized than some crowds I've been. In fact, I haven't seen any disrespect, nothing but intelligence here and good behavior. That's wonderful. Don't be afraid to be ugly and nasty now. I'm ready for it.
I was reading, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as Muslims that we're supposed to lower our gaze, Muslim men and women.
Yes, men and women.
Yeah, and I was wondering, just asking you a question. Do you think that it is haram for Muslim men and women to have fashion shows together, or like what are your views on it?
Good question. Excellent question. Don't go now. Stay here. Excellent question. In the Quran, God says, believing men, when you're approaching women, lower your gaze. And believing women, when you're approaching men, lower your gaze. She have just said this to me. She said that. Now, she asked now, in light of that, she asked, is it proper or approved that men and women have fashion shows together? I think every fashion show I have seen had haram in it. That was haram. But understand that I follow Mohammed the Prophet, peace be upon him. And Mohammed the Prophet was also a strategist. Muhammad the Prophet was also a man that believed in a certain amount of gradualism. When the revelation first came against alcohol, it didn't tell the people it was forbidden for them to drink. They were first told of the harm and the bad in it. Then later finally the revelation came, in fact it came in 3 degrees, I believe, of insistence. The last said it was abandoned. It was forbidden. And no believer was to take alcohol or to take intoxicants. Actually, it's not whiskey, it's intoxicants. It covers reefers and anything else that will make your mind confused or drug. So I know that the fashion shows are not without some haram, but I don't stop them. But I try to use my influence. Even the music is like haram. A lot of the music, most of the music got some haram in it. But I try to influence our culture, all of it, entertainment culture. I try to influence it so that the community becomes more and more conscious of the problems for Islamic life and begin to work against this haram. And I appreciate what you said. I hope that the day will come, sister, when we'll have fashion shows for sisters and fashion shows for brothers separately.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Walaikum assalam.
I agree that many people were suspicious when you said how
jinns come in the form of men. How is that possible? Does it like take over their body or whatever?
Oh, it's getting to be very, very exciting. I love it. I love fiction. Yes, body snatchers didn't come from Hollywood. Body snatchers were always around. Yes, somebody stole the body of a close friend of mine. Something happened to that dude, and it wasn't him in that body anymore. Somebody else was in that body. Yes, they can possess bodies. Oh, alaikum assalam.
What do you think that your father would have said after all things that he had accomplished in the community?
Yes, oh, I'll repeat it for you. I thought everybody heard it. She asked me, what do I think my father would say if he was here and had witnessed all the things that have been accomplished for this community? Well, I'm going to let you hear it. I'm going to let you hear him. I thank Allah for you, son. Alaikum assalam.
If Christians and Muslims and Jews are so close in religion, why are we all so different?
I didn't get it again. I didn't get it again.
If Christians, Muslims, and Jews are so close in religion, how are we all so different?
How are we different? Yeah. Excellent. Again, an excellent question that will be addressed in my presentation or in my address tomorrow. It will be addressed. That will be addressed. There are very serious differences. But if those differences were of the degree of seriousness that would prevent us from living together and working together for the welfare, health, welfare, and good future of society, Mohammed the Prophet would not have permitted Jews to continue their religion in Arabia in his lifetime. And he wouldn't have permitted Christians to continue their religion in Islamic lands in his time. He himself, and this is established very clear, no scholar in Islam that's really a scholar, I mean he really studied, would disagree with what I'm telling you. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he made it law that Muslims not only live with Christians and with their churches and with Jews and their synagogues, but he obligated Muslims, since we were in the majority and the nation was in Muslim control, he obligated Muslims to protect the sanctity and holiness, the sacredness of the religious places, churches, synagogues, and etc. There was also another religion still existing in the world. I thought it had gone until I learned in recent years that it is not gone, it still exists, called in Quran Sabians. Sabians. They are people that Allah guided Muhammad to recognize as a people who believe in God. And he also permitted them to remain and practice also their religion. So there are serious differences. And he asked a very important question. There are serious what's your name?
Shaji.
Spell it for me.
S-H-A-J-E-E.
Shaji. Yes, Shaji asked a very important question. And I said we will be addressing not only the sameness or the similarities, but also the differences for the two great religions, Islam, Christianity and Islam, tomorrow, inshallah. Yes. So I hope you understand, Shaji, that there are real serious differences. But the things we have alike are so much more important that we are guided in Islam to respect them as a people who believe in God just like we do, and respect that they can be responsible for their life and their society just like we can. And we have to live with them as citizens and neighbors, and not as people apart from one another, as enemies. We're not ever to be enemies of good Christians or good Jews or good people, period.
Assalamu alaikum. I was wondering, what did you think about America's plans to invade Iraq?
Let me first correct you. America is not planning to invade Iraq. Bush does not have the support of America yet to invade Iraq, unless something happened in the news that I'm not aware of, since I checked. Bush is not getting the support of the government to invade Iraq. I'm sure Sharon and Bush are agreed, but not America, not yet.
I just wanted to ask that, like, if a young Muslim male brother and sister or whatever are like interested in each other but not like are ready to get married, how should they go about that? And if like one of them are Muslim and the other one's a different religion, how should they go about that if they don't want to like get married or anything, because that's what it says in the Quran?
Very important question for not only youth, but for old person like me too. Yeah. First, for people desiring a mate, females and males desiring to mate mate sexually for pleasure, for children, for the future, whatever, we should understand this. In Islam, there's no sex without marriage. That's first what you're telling. Now, you didn't ask for all that. I'm sure you're not way back there. You're way ahead of that. I know that. But for the benefit of the audience, and what I say is going to be put it on tape, and it's going to reach other people, going to go beyond this audience right here. So first I want to say that sex in Islam, there's no sex in Islam without marriage. Now, this is so strict that if it is known by the Muslim society that male and female had sex and they were not married, they have to accept each other as man and wife or husband and wife right away. They have to say, well, we didn't do this with the intention not to marry, or not. I do love her, I do love him, I do want him for my husband, I do want her for my wife. If they say that, then a wise judge will say, you did the act while you were married. You were married. Though you did not have a formal marriage witness, you were in spirit married when you did the act. They say, now, do you accept that we publish that you are married? If one of you say no, you're going to be flogged in the public. 80 lashes or 100 lashes or more. You're going to be whipped in the public. I mean, pain going to be put on you. Not stone, that's not Islam. You hear of any stoning, that's un-Islamic. The person who orders stoning should be stoned. That's savage. That's savagery. It's not Islamic. But the guilty one should be flogged in the public. It'll be adultery, it'll be fornication or adultery if you do not accept that it was an act by you desiring one another forever. not just for that moment. That's the first thing to realize. It's very important. Now, before you marry, you are not to even risk the temptation of getting sexually involved. You're not supposed to touch each other sexually. You're not supposed to touch each other with sex on your mind or from a sexual interest. You're not even touch each other. You're not kiss? No. No kissing, no touching, no expression from sexual interest at all. If you do, you're misbehaving as a Muslim. If you do that, you're misbehaving as a Muslim. Now, if you would have all the brothers and sisters that marry, including me, go before judgment, all of us would be guilty. All of us would be guilty. But I didn't know. I wasn't as informed back then in my young years, younger days, as I am now. I won't do it now. I won't do that. But back then, yes. And I guess you say, well, at your old age, you won't have much problems sexually anyway. Sex problem won't come into the picture anyway. And that might be true. But we can still dream. So for me, there's a risk and a danger, just like it is for you young ones who are driven by life. You're driven by the force of your life. And it's hard to resist the urge in young life. It's very difficult, very difficult. So all of our leaders should not jump to judgment, not rush to judgment, and try to judge youngsters, judge their behavior, and be too hard on you all, because the urge in young life is a much greater challenge and test than it is for us in our 40s and older, or for many in their 30s. Much greater. You're in the worst time right now. Puberty, teenage years, the worst time. So you have the greatest challenge and the greatest struggle right now. And you are our heroes right now. If you are obeying these laws, you are our giants. Okay? And we thank Allah for you. Thank Allah for your parents that encourage you to be chaste and not to invite temptation. The key is don't invite temptation. Don't let yourself be tricked into a risky situation where you're risking your purity. One slip can wreck your life for the rest of your life. One slip can wreck the life of your family if you have a conscious, honorable family. It can wreck your family for the rest of your life. One slip. And be aware, be very aware, that people come among us, young men and old men. Not only among us, they go to church. They're perverted men, young and old, and unconscious. They just don't have any respect for anything. And they, as I think it was Freddie Krueger, he said, how sweet, fresh meat. So they would come to a religious congregation, how sweet, fresh meat. Just to They use you, and once they use you, they go. Unless you invite them to come back and they were pleased, they probably won't be back. But they have used you and they're gone. So be aware of that. Be aware too, if you're the son of an imam or a daughter of an imam, be aware that these same people, they like to hurt people that shame them. See, our obedience, it annoys them. They wish we weren't even existing. So their minds will be free to just do the things and not be pricked by our presence, not be disturbed by our presence. They hate, they call those old goody goods. They hate us just because we want to be good, those old goody goods. And they'll come among you, young and old, boys and men, girls and women, young brothers. They'll come among us just to make us guilty of their way of life, of their disrespect for decency. They want to make us guilty, so they'll be more comfortable doing the things they're doing. And there is nothing else for you to get to survive on. Now that could possibly happen. How come God revealed that? Because it's possible that a fanatic person that's not a Muslim from the other religions could capture a Muslim and tell the Muslim, okay, if you don't eat this pork, then you're going to die. You're not going to get anything else. In fact, we've had some situations almost that bad in times past, in prison, where they didn't want to give us a pork-free meal. Okay, but they gave us other things. You could eat beets, but not a full diet. You didn't have a healthy diet, that's for sure. I ate in prison many times, and I didn't have a healthy diet. The doctor would have said, this man can't live like this. He should be given some meat. He should be given some protein, some eggs or something. And I had to eat beets and go to bed. Beets. You know what beets are, vegetables. That's all they had that I could eat. And that's what I ate, that milk, just beets, that's all I had. Sometimes just milk for breakfast, because the eggs cooked in lard, pork grease. So it was worse for the generation before me, for my father and my brother who went to prison during World War II. It was much worse for them. They were given boiled eggs. The prison finally accepted that they could boil eggs for the Muslims, so they boiled eggs for the Muslims, which was good. Way back there during World War II, some progress was made for Muslims inside the prisons. Yes, what I'm getting at? I'm getting at this. We cannot, while we have to condemn the act, the insane act of those people, we cannot condemn them without also looking at the cause behind the act. What pressured them, what drove them to that degree of madness, insanity, or selflessness, where they became so selfless that they didn't see themselves as any importance at all. They could destroy their bodies, they could destroy their lives. And they thought it was justified to take the lives of any Americans. I'm going to tell you, they were indoctrinated. They were indoctrinated. They were told that all Americans are free to vote. And as long as they vote for people that are leading the country against us to do these things, all of them have a part in the guilt. So, knowing those things, I cannot tell you of their horrible image, inhuman image, without also telling you that we have to look at causes, what drove them to that extent, to do those things. You're welcome.